Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm chilling out today, man. I look comfortable, don't I? I feel good. I got a lot of rest over the weekend. And as Cody knows, I won a lot of money betting on some sports now. Am I allowed to say that legally?
Yeah, it's legal as of today.
It's legal in Florida, yeah. I had a 5-game parlay, and I hit all 5 of them. Bet $50, won $9.96 and change, right?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm just pumped about it. So just laying back today, man, just chilling. Got everything covered, man. I hope you're having a good day. This is the closing beat. We're financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth, and yeah, occasionally we take some of our dough and we bet it on sports games because what else happens on the weekends? The market's closed. So just a fun and exciting series of games. All Sunday at 1, Sunday at 4, and then the Cowboys, man. The Cowboys came through and won. So that's pretty cool. Hey, I hope you check us out at jazzwealth.com. We are laid back, a little bit goofy, but very serious about your dough and helping you in case we can. Any way we can, actually. So this Thursday, we've got Wine and Wealth coming up again. We got our own custom wine here, the Wine of Wealth. Me and Lucky Louie over here will be hanging out for the Wine and Wealth class. But last week, we talked about the inefficiencies and efficiencies of crypto in regards to currency and investments, so you understand what you're getting into there. And the week before that, we did the geeky side of tax loss harvesting, considering maintenance margin and everything that's included with that. So something you don't see. You're just not going to see it publicly there. I know for a fact because nobody's talked about it. Most people don't know how that's working there. Every Thursday or every weekend, we do an email for clients. You want to take a look at it? I'll actually tease you with it here today. This is just kind of our portal. You could see all the ones I've ever written in here. But last weekend, we talked about October being sort of an outlier month, but actually being perfectly average in the sense of the performance of the months. And then we just kind of went through all the good stuff there and talked about performance of the markets going forward and all that fun stuff. So you can check that out. If you're one of our clients, we keep them archived forever there. And I think coming up soon, because we're inviting more people on the wait list there, I'm probably going to do a public class, maybe Friday or something while it's quiet, where we go over how do we do things here. Like if you're to join us or you're on a wait list and you do join us, how do things work? So maybe I'll trade with you guys if you're up for it. We will... I'll teach something new. We'll just do like a lesson where we talk about something, and then I'll show you how we do things. Just right, so it's like worth your time, and maybe you learn something new in that respect. And also, before I get started, big thanks to David. Shout out to David for coming by, a fellow financial advisor, one of the good ones it seems like. No suit and ties, no crazy there. So David was on vacation, came by to say hi, and appreciate you coming, or loved having you. So welcome by. You're always welcome back. Anybody that comes in with a suit and tie is not welcome back here. Come in with that stuff trying to intimidate old Dustin. That ain't going to happen. Hey, let's talk about the stock market here. So you can see the performance on the other screen there. Wednesday's the big deal this week. So you're going to have a lot of these days. See this kind of back and forth day today where not really much happened. We got the Fed statement coming out on Wednesday, I believe. So that's what we have. It have to be some sort of news catalyst to push you one way or the other. The S&P, we find ourselves up 22%, actually 22.6% through the end of October. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, October, 22.6% there. That is the best January to October that we've had since 2013. So kind of a little bit of a record one there. By the way, the rest of that year was positive. It gained another 5.3%. Now, since the S&P had actually been created, right? 1928, I believe it was October 1928. There's only been 9 other years where January through October had over a 20% gain there. And so it's not a lot of data to actually study. So you have 9 other years where we did just what we did so far this year. The good news for the bulls is it was positive for the rest of the year every single time. All 9 times when the S&P is up 20% by the end of October, it was positive more into the rest of the year. The average gain was 6.01% and median gain 5.92%. Right, so good news for the bulls. Also good news for those of you looking for the Santa Claus rally there. So not much to report on today as far as the S&P, but that's what you have. You also had to close at a new record high there. That's now 59 closes at record highs, right? I can only count 3 other years where we have had 60 or more record high closes. That would be 2017 is the most recent if you're looking back. 1964 and 1995 at this pace, by the way. There's many new record highs as we've hit up to the end of October. We're technically on pace to hit 70. That'd be the second most ever if that's the case. 1995, actually, not too long ago. 1995 was the record, 77, if I got my numbers right there. All right, anyways, if you're looking inside the S&P, I don't know. I mean, like, there's a lot of interesting one-off type moves today. Las Vegas Sands coming very aggressively off of potentially making new lows. You like this is building some momentum going into the next couple days. You don't normally see that. It's probably virus-related news. The fact that it's that's going kind of well out there. Tesla, holy cow. So we're going to do a study on this one to see, as extended as Tesla is, how many times has it been this extended and what happened after that? Because it feels like it's not just going to stop at all. But looking around, you got Norwegian Cruise Lines. This is why I say it's probably virus-related news out there, because a lot of those reopening stocks doing well. And you had Penn National, just a small gain on the day, which ranks as a more positive stock, or positive performance for the day. But this is more of a it still moves like a small cap stock. In the sense that it can have 4% and 5% days like nobody's business there. Also, Royal Caribbean off the 200-day moving average. Just a couple things I thought I'd point out there. Looking at the NASDAQ here today, slight gain today, but it was held back by a lot of your super duper mega cap names, right? Alphabet just wouldn't participate today, down 3% on the day. You had Amazon, 1.6%, so not sure what it wants to do there. And I believe Netflix was the other one. Yeah, it's done great, right? That silly Squid Games thing. That was incredible. I saw 2 kids yesterday dressed up as Squid Games. That was it. I thought I would see more than that. Also, you had Apple down about 0.5% on the day. So the NASDAQ kind of held back by really those names. There was some other bad performance in there, like with CrowdStrike and everything, but it's not enough to actually move the stock lower. On the upside, you got Tesla there. You had a lot of the semiconductors. Xilinx, one that sticks out here to me. Let me go over here. Extended in the short term, but just a monster, right? Dollar Tree, another one. I would have thought it would have pulled back by now, but it won't pull back. I'm going to hit on the Russell. Bam! Finally getting your breakout there on the Russell. So the commitment's been made by traders that breaking out of this wedge is going to be to the upside there. You expect to see more momentum there. Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm just now, this is hitting me, so give me a second. I want to do this with you. That's a 2.5% gain on the day. This is totally off the cuff, right? Let me make sure you can see it there. 2.5%. It's a broad rally basically across all the different factors. But although I'll say growth did lead the way just a little bit. Now, normally, let's see if I can be quick. When you have these wide range days, just look back 2 days. You have a wide range day, you get an indecision day. See that little tiny day inside of there? Here's a wide range day, indecision the next day. That tends to happen. What I wanted to know, and why I'm just kind of winging it here, I want to know, what's the probability of us having a quiet day tomorrow? So let's try this. This is our tool available in the research site if you are a member. I'm using the rolling search here. I want to know any one day, right? So it's not a calendar day of the month. I want to know if 2.5%, first of all, I want to know how odd that is. Probably not very odd. In one day, and then we'll look back 20 years, doesn't matter. As far as we can go. So let's see how odd this is first. So over the last 20 years, while that's thinking, we need a little loader thing there, actually. Yeah, we need a little bit of a loader screen. So we've got IWM greater than 2.5% over the last, or for the one day over the last 20 years. All right, what's going on? Hang with me. Let's try it again. Oh, I see what it did. Okay, so greater than 2.5% for one day. 20 years. That's what I wanted to do right there. All right, so I'm gonna let that load for a second. Oh, it did. Look how quick that was. All right, so here we go. So this is the last 20 years. So any day, you can see here on the left, 2.5%, right? Yep, okay, so all that's working. We want to know, that's what happened the day before, and this is what happened the day after. So that's perfect. That's what we want to know. IWM has had a return of greater than 2.5% over the span of one day, a total of 172 times the last 20 years. So it's not too odd. That's a lot of data points. The average next day return is negative. The median next day return, negative, but I'll call it flat, right? And you essentially have a coin flip of whether it'll be positive or negative. So what does that tell you, right? First of all, if you're a research member, you can go in and use this. This is available to you. All right, so what that tells you, and I'll switch to the IWM, so we're looking at the same thing. It's the exact same picture. All I was doing was using the futures a second ago. So come on, booger. There we go. Draw the same. There we go. Draw the same lines here, series of highs and lows. You see what I'm doing? I'll do it real rough, so it's taking a while. Okay, so we broke out here. You look at that, you get all kinds of excited, and you say, well, I want to buy it. Well, you know it's a coin flip. If you buy this tomorrow, you have a slight advantage of a slight down day, right? Because that's our data. I know it's the Russell, it's not that exciting, but we have a slight advantage, meaning it's only positive 48% of the time, so 52% of the time it's going to be negative, and it's going to be negative by a very minor, like doesn't even matter type number, right? So there you go. So if you're thinking momentum on this, there's always a chance it takes off. I mean, we could find probably instances where it had a big range day and then just took off. I'm not seeing anything here actually initially, but well, here's one, right? So I had a big wide range day, and then the next day was slightly positive. So all right, there's one. But anyways, you know now that you don't have to rush into this tomorrow. If it opens lower, give it a little time, let it breathe, man, right? Very cool. I love looking at this kind of stuff. And I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but that's where the Russell's at. So there you go. Hope you like it. And lastly, we've got to do the Dow. The Dow's in last place year to date by about 2.5% now. So it's getting, it's not that it's doing bad. It's getting left in the dust. All right. That's all that the case is. And then we got Guess the Dow, right? Who won Guess the Dow, man?
Your winner for last week was Addie. Congratulations to Addie with the guess of 35,802. They are not a client, so they're going to take the $100 gift card. Remember, if you want to play, it's jazzwealth.com/guess the Dow. Get your guesses in by Saturday if you want to play next week. We got our leaderboard for this week, and I want you to look at how tight the top of this leaderboard is. Super cool. You got Amanda, Chris, Tony, B, and Ron. I just thought it was cool how close the guesses were. Does it matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not, but I thought it was cool.
Man, you got a point, right? You got a point between the top three people. Well, 2 points really, but a point between each person.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So Christopher's in a bad position, man, right? Christopher, he's got to hit it. If he doesn't hit it basically spot on, oh, man.
Yeah, he kind of got sandwiched in there, but.
And then there's B again. Old B's always competitive, man.
B's been all over the place the last couple of weeks.
Oh, man. I love it. I'm getting more, the more of the sports betting kind of thing I do, the more like competitive I get.
Yeah, you're becoming a big sports fan. Might be a bigger sports fan than I am.
Hey, who wins tonight, man? What do we do? I got $9.96 to spend, man.
Put it all on the Chiefs.
All on the Chiefs. Well, yeah, I saw that last night. Okay. So we're going all on the Chiefs.
Every dollar.
Oh.
Responsibly. Do it responsibly, but every dollar you have.
Let's see. Anybody want, what should I go all in $9.96 from my winnings on the Chiefs? Just like as the money line?
Or you could take a -12.
Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I definitely like Kansas City. I don't. I'm going to bet $9.96, man. I just got the taste of that. I just got the taste of it. Anyways, all right. We will focus on what we're supposed to be focusing on here for the rest of the show. How about that? Hey, a couple other things. You got oil. So oil just continuing higher today. Bonds were mixed, nothing new to report there. And gold slightly higher on the day. And notice I keep saying that, right? Gold just keeps fighting that off there. Interesting fun fact here for you before we get into the rest of it. This earnings season, if you were to look at stocks reporting earnings in the S&P 500, if a company beats on earnings, beats on revenue, and raises their guidance, then no matter how far the stock, if it gaps up, right? No matter how far it gaps up, its average return for the day is still another 1.75% on top of that. Meaning and you know this ahead of time, so you know that they beat on earnings, beat on revenue, raise their guidance. Whatever the stock does this earnings season, for some reason, it's still giving the intraday return of an average of 1.94%, positive 75% of the time, right? 75% of the time. Here's a couple examples. If you want to verify this, you can look up you can look up any stock really, but I just grabbed a couple of them there because I think there were 16 names in total. So here's the gap. Enphase reports earnings. They beat on earnings. They beat on revenue or sales, and they raised their guidance. It gaps higher and still gave you more if you weren't a pre-market type trader there. S&P Global, just for that day, it gapped higher and gave you more. I was just looking at all the stocks, just trying to read through earnings and stuff, and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Gapped higher on earnings right there and still ran. You still got the 1.7 or 94% gain on the day. I think even Moody's did too. I was trying to find the one that didn't. There were 16 of them. So it gives you an idea, right? That's the trend. That's not like, I don't know if that continues, but that's what's happening right now. Companies are being rewarded both on their gap as well as intraday for things like that. And bet you that's something you don't see anywhere else, huh? I know it isn't something you see anywhere else. They got you covered over here. Okay, here's what's happened with the new highs and lows. You got 50 new highs, 2 new lows. Problem is, a lot of them hit new highs and reversed. So you got a lot of weakness showing up, and that's totally fair because a lot of these stocks have had good moves, and then they hit a new high, and what do you want? What do you want people to buy more after that? So you're seeing a lot of pullbacks. Chubb is one of them. Arthur Gallagher is the other. I put the whole list together. See how it hit a new high and reversed? That's a lot of names that did that today. I just showed S&P Global. Hit new highs, reversed. So maybe a little warning sign. It's sort of stuck in different industries here, but hit new highs, pulled back. That's Intercontinental Exchange. And then lastly, I want to point out CVS finally breaking out of this range. This is the one we've been talking about. Apparently, a lot of you have this stock and are wondering if you should hold it. Remember, this is one of the only healthcare stocks that did not pull back with healthcare. It did not pull back with the market, and you're getting rewarded for sitting there and watching a whole lot of nothing happen. So very, very cool on that one. I always like to point out things as they play out if I can. Stocks in the news. American Airlines, wow, they canceled some flights now, didn't they? I believe it was over 1,000 flights. They are the next in line to have to cancel flights due to staffing and weather. But I find it funny. They're like, hey, weather was pretty bad at Dallas. That left our flight crew members stranded elsewhere. They were the only ones? Why didn't other Dallas-based companies have issues? Southwest? Why didn't United have problems? Why was it just American? Nonetheless, they are hiring like crazy. So hopefully not an issue for the holiday season there. John Deere reached a tentative agreement with the employees that have been on strike for about 2 weeks now, I believe. They got to put that to a vote, but apparently they've got a deal in, what do they call that? Deal in principle that they're going to vote on. So that was nice to see that moving higher today. Albemarle. They were higher today. Barron's went all in, basically said it's a great stock. Everything's good about them because of their lithium exposure. And you know how Tesla's changing how they make their batteries there. So it's good news for them. Roblox, still a little bit lower. If you're a Roblox player, programmer, or fan, it was actually down quite a bit over the weekend. It had patches of being down. It was down for a long stretch. Then it started coming back up, went back down again, then went back up. So that one's hopefully back. It says they're all back online now. And lastly, Harley-Davidson crushed by the Trump tariffs. Remember when we were talking about putting tariffs on steel? Well, that was bad for Harley-Davidson and for importing their steel to make the bikes. And remember the CEO went to the White House and basically begged and everything. Trump said, sorry, man, got to do what I got to do. Well, I believe Biden has officially taken off those tariffs or changed the deal. I don't know if it's 100% off. Trade deal with the EU over steel tariffs. I believe they took them or they are tapering them off, and that's the reason you see Harley-Davidson up today, whatever that specific news is. I don't remember if they just flat out got rid of it or not. Hey, a couple other things while we let the stream catch up. Simon Property Group raised their dividend by 10%, which is good news. They pay a pretty good dividend there. Happy birthday to Tim Cook, current CEO of Apple. And finally, after many, many years, the word, Cody, did you ever get told by a teacher, you'd say something and you go, because, and they go, no, because is not a word. You can't say because. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Because is officially a word in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Because has been defined as because of, often used in humorous way to convey vagueness about the exact reasons for something. Finally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big step right there. I like it.
Well, let's see if you like this. Digital nomad also included. Someone who performs their occupation entirely over the internet while traveling. And this was a funny one. Am I right? Amirite. Am I right?
All right, now we've gone too far.
We've gone too far.
I was cool with because, but now it's too far.
It is slang used in writing for am I right to represent or imitate the use of the phrase of the tag question of the informal speech. Am I right? All kinds of cool words being added to super spreader, vaccine passport, 0 day, teraflop, right? Which is a new size of hard drives there. Votorama, AstroTurf, actually being added. There you go. And Fluffernutter. I'm not kidding.
I thought you were joking.
I'm not
You're
kidding.
not joking?
A Fluffernutter is a sandwich made with peanut butter and marshmallow cream between 2 slices of sandwich bread.
Have you had that?
No, I never even. I mean, I've heard people use the word. I just thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I've never tried that. That's
Fluffernutter. There you go. So, who brings you such great level of quality content on a consistent basis like that? You didn't know it was coming, right? They had no idea. All right, let's see what questions you have. Let's see what we can do. Because, yeah, but you guys were never told that? How old are you? Because you'd have to be younger than me. They always would say, because is not a word. You can't say that. That's officially a word. Maybe I had the only teacher that did that. Yeah, Mang is the new acronym. It was only a matter of time before they said, hey, we got to change this acronym there. Facebook changing their name to Meta. And MVRS is going to be the ticker symbol. Yep, sure is. So you can't say Facebook anymore. That name is being canceled. Yep. HPQ, why would, just out of curiosity, why would you look at HPQ? You like the turnaround here? You like the turnaround of the company's fundamentals, what they're trying to do, or you just like the stock reversal? That's not a company that most people do look at when they're considering an investment lately. I'm not saying it's a bad company, but just curious. Why are you looking at that? Yeah. Some of the semis are waking up, by the way. QCOM, not one of them just recently here, but if you look at the SMH as a whole, just if you want a quick way to see it, it did break out to new highs there. I mentioned Xilinx earlier. There's a few names. QCOM's getting dragged back in this way. You don't like that feeling, right? It's almost like it doesn't want to go, but it's being dragged by everybody else. You got to feel that drag and be like, maybe I'll wait a little bit and see what happens. Yeah. Oh, you like how the company's growing. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's an offbeat, the HPQ, it's an offbeat kind of a play there. What I like about it, without knowing a whole lot about them in the last 4 weeks or so, I like that it's come out of this downtrend and you've convincingly got the bulls to say, we're in. We're not sellers anymore. We're not profit takers. We are in and holding. So that's a good sign. Next little resistance area around 33. So you got a little room to get things going. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, you got a big target on that Tesla, man. 1,800. Now, when you say target, are you saying, hey, over the next year, like a typical analyst, or are you saying during this move, it's going to 1,800? I think you hope it doesn't go to 1,800. I guess I wouldn't put it past it, but if it goes to 1,800 on this move, then that's a move you sell into, because it will be done making new highs for quite a while, right? When this stock gets carried away, it's all kinds of exciting, but when it finally just stretches all the way to highs wherever it's going to go, it's a long drawn out process before you get back to those highs. That's why I wouldn't want it. I'll take a good thing over a longer period of time rather than the 6 Reese's Big Cups that I ate yesterday in a short period of time that made me sick. That's a true story. Yep. During this move, no. I'd do a friendly bet with you, Zaki, or Zaki, if that's how you say it. I'll bet you gotta, so during this move, which means you can't have a pivot pullback, right? So if it pulls back and attempts to make a rally, then we say this move is over, right? If it just keeps going, without making a pivot pullback to 1800, I will. What would I do? I'll give you $100. How about that? We'll make you an honorary secondary winner of Guess the Dow. I'll bet you $100 because I think I'm allowed to do that. It's got to go in this move. So if you agree to those terms, can't have a pivot pullback. It can fall a little bit, just can't pivot. That's all it is. Yeah, right. Have I ever done a review of rebalancing? Not only that, Miriam, I've done a review of rebalancing backed by a study. So what we did is we saw if you could rebalance at any given period, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, or never, which one would ultimately win? So we took a series of portfolios and said, what would be the optimum rebalancing strategy of all? And I believe I did that. It doesn't feel that long ago, but then again, I was just like 25. You know how that goes. I don't think it was that long ago, to be honest. Yeah. I know. You want Ford to keep going? It's been a good run. I mean, what is the goal, right? Remember, there's always a tough thing with people trying to answer questions for you guys. The tough part is, are you just in this for the move and you've made some profit you're happy to just take and go away with? Or are you investing for the big, like, long-term electric transition and everybody's going to drive an F-150 that's made out of electric, or that is electric? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, in the short term, I go, this is getting extended. I got to sell into this a little bit. If you're an investor, you're just happy because you're leaving your average cost in the dust, and that makes it easier to hold for the long term. Yeah. HPQ having buybacks, boring company and slow growth, and it was reestablished printing back with me. Yeah, that's what I have stuck in my head, Danny. I've got that old style HPQ, $25 to refill your inkjet cartridge that they probably don't fill up anyways. So that's how I picture it when I go, well, when I could look at so many other cool things, why am I looking at this? I like the attempt at what they're trying to do. I sort of even like IBM's attempt, although it's not going as well. Just a tough place to put new money there, I would think. Well, hey, how about that? We kick off old Monday with a little different series of things to talk about there. I hope you enjoyed it. We are tinkering with some of this, as we always do. We never sit still around here, so maybe some good changes if we can. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to get back to work here, do some good stuff, and we'll be back tomorrow, do it all over again. And if you need anything, you know where to find us. Thanks for watching.